Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive. Today, we're tackling one of those universal parenting challenges that can feel like a real daily battle. Getting tweens, those 9 to 13-year-olds to genuinely pitch in around the house. I mean, if you've ever had an 11-year-old look at the overflowing laundry basket like it's, well, modern art, or heard that classic, I'll do it in a minute, that somehow stretches into next week, you are definitely not alone. So we've taken a deep dive into some really practical source material for you today. It's a guide called Effortless Chores, Guiding Tweens to Household Responsibility. And it promises real-life strategies that actually work. Less drama, fewer reminders, and absolutely no bribery involved. Our mission today is basically to unpack these insights, give you a bit of a shortcut maybe, to transform those household tasks from a constant struggle into, well, something more like partnership and growth.
Yeah, and what's really crucial to understand here, I think, is the unique developmental stage tweens are actually in. They're right on that edge, craving autonomy like crazy, but they still absolutely need guidance, smart guidance. They're incredibly capable of responsibility, truly. But the approach we take, it has to be just right to actually engage them. So this deep dive will explore how we can sort of weave chores naturally into their path towards becoming, independent and contributing members of the family.
Okay, let's just dive right in then. The elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Why is it so incredibly difficult sometimes to get tweens involved? We know they can do it, right? So what's the barrier?
Well, if we step back a bit, look at the bigger picture. Tweens are navigating this really intense transition period. Their world is just exploding, really. School demands, the pull of screens is huge, their social lives are becoming everything, and fundamentally they resist feeling controlled. Being told what to do just doesn't fly. Plus, honestly, sometimes they genuinely just don't see the point. Like, how does this task help me right now? But the good news, and this is important, is that with the right understanding and some clever strategies, these young people can absolutely become reliable helpers. They can even start to feel some pride in contributing.
Okay, so the source kicks off with an idea that I think some parents might initially resist a bit. Giving queens a real voice, maybe even a choice in their chores. It feels a little like you're giving up control if you don't just assign tasks, right?
Yeah.
Why does this actually work?
Well, it taps directly into that need they have for control, that drive for self-determination that's so strong at this age. When they choose, it changes the whole dynamic. It's not just a command from above anymore. It becomes more like an agreement. And that boosts their sense of ownership hugely. So instead of just handing down a list, the source suggests offering like a limited menu of options. You might say, okay, this week we need help with the dishes, the vacuuming, and the laundry. Which one feels like a better fit for you?
Ah, okay. So it's not a free-for-all.
Exactly, limited choice. And that simple shift can just head off power struggles before they even start.
And, there's this really interesting little twist the source adds here. They suggest rotating those chore options weekly,
Right.
which isn't just about stopping them getting bored, is it?
No, not at all. It's actually kind of a stealthy way to encourage skill building. They end up learning how to do a wider range of household tasks over time. It's like cross-training for adulting.
Cross-training for adulting, I like that. Okay, so choice gives you that initial buy-in. That's powerful. But what about actually getting it done? Accountability, especially when, a busy tween's memory can sometimes seem to vanish. Our source moves on to this idea of visual structure. How can a simple chore chart really make that much difference?
Well, a good chore chart, and good is key here, acts like a visible contract. It's specific, it's trackable, it just keeps everyone on the same page without you having to constantly repeat yourself, which, let's face it, feels like nagging.
Yeah, nobody enjoys that.
Exactly. Think of it like an external hard drive for their responsibilities. It needs to be somewhere obvious: the fridge, a corkboard, maybe even a family app if you use one. And specificity, that's really crucial, not just clean room. It needs to be like tidy room, put clothes away, make bed Wednesday by 4 p.m.
Right. Very specific.
Yeah, and maybe add tick boxes or stickers, something that gives that little dopamine hit of completion. A consistent weekly planner just helps them internalize the routine. It builds that responsibility muscle with fewer arguments along the way.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, motivation. This feels like the big one for a lot of parents. How do you get past that, the classic "because I said so" argument, which we all know just falls flat with a tween?
Yeah, that one rarely works. Tweens are much, much more motivated when they can actually see the connection. How do their actions matter? So the source really pushes connecting chores to tangible outcomes, benefits they can actually understand and value. both for the family unit and, importantly, for themselves.
Okay, like what? Give us an example.
Well, you could frame it like, hey, when you do this, you're helping our whole family run smoother. We're like a team. Or connect it to their own goals. Look, being responsible here at home, that's actually building the independence you keep saying you want.
Right, linking it forward. And this next point, I think it's brilliant because it addresses something people worry about. Connecting chores to freedoms. Some listeners might hear that and think, wait, isn't that just bribing them? How is it different?
That's a really common concern, but there's a key difference. It's not about payment for a task. It's about illustrating natural, logical cause and effect. Think of it this way. It's not do this task, get this reward. That's a bribe. It's demonstrate responsibility consistently, earn more freedom and trust. That's life, right?
Okay, so it's earned, not bought.
Exactly. So you might say something like, okay, once your contributions to the house are handled, your free time is genuinely yours. Go hang out, play your game. Or, you're really showing us you can manage these responsibilities independently. That makes us feel much more comfortable trusting you with more freedom, like maybe going to the mall with your friends next weekend.
Okay, I see the distinction. It clarifies that connection between their effort and the rewards they actually care about in a way that feels fair and earned.
Precisely. It resonates much more deeply than just a cash transaction.
Now, another big resistance point for tweens. They often imagine chores as these endless, soul-sucking black holes that are going to eat up all their precious free time. How do we counter that perception? What's the solution there?
Yeah, that feeling of this is going to take forever is a major hurdle. So the source offers a really clear strategy. Boundary setting. Make it finite and predictable. Try setting a timer. Seriously, just 10 or 15 minutes of focused work. It's amazing how effective a visible countdown can be.
Just knowing it will end soon.
Exactly. Or make the chores part of a very predictable routine. Like, okay, quick tidy up happens right before dinner every single night. When tweens know exactly what's expected and, crucially, how long it's likely to take, it dramatically reduces that anxiety and resistance. That fear of the unknown is often way worse than the actual task.
That's so true. Okay, this next one feels really important, maybe one of the most overlooked parenting tips generally. But the source highlights it for chores. Praising progress, not demanding perfection. Why is that so powerful?
Oh, absolutely vital. Think about learning any new skill. You don't expect mastery on day one, right?
No, of course not.
It's the same here. It's like building a muscle. You celebrate the small gains, the effort, the improvement. The source really emphasizes focusing on that effort and the progress they're making, rather than fixating on, a spotless military inspection-ready result.
So less criticism, more encouragement.
Way more encouragement. Positive reinforcement works so much better in the long run, especially for building habits. Simple, genuine things like, hey, thanks for remembering to take the bins out without me even asking this week. That's huge. Or, wow, you really handled your chores independently this week. That shows real maturity. Those kinds of comments build habit, they build pride, and crucially, they build trust over time. It teaches them that their effort is seen and valued, even if the end result isn't, magazine perfect.
Right. It's about the direction, not just the destination immediately. So if we sort of pull all these threads together, all these strategies, choice, structure, connection, boundaries, praise, it really sounds like it boils down to a fundamental shift in philosophy, doesn't it? Moving from pressure to partnership.
On a higher level, yes, that's precisely it. That's the core idea. The ultimate goal here isn't just, getting clean rooms or an empty dishwasher. Those are nice bonuses.
Definitely nice bonuses.
Right. But the real goal is guiding these tweens towards genuine independence, competence, and a sense of belonging. This whole deep dive, really, it highlights that it's a process. You start small, you stay consistent, and you help them truly internalize the understanding that contributing to the household isn't some kind of punishment. It's just a normal, vital part of growing up. It's about being part of a family team, and honestly, it's preparing them for life beyond our walls.
What a fantastic deep dive. This is such a common struggle. It's great to get such practical insights. We've learned that by strategically giving tweens that voice and choice, implementing clear visual structures like those charts, linking chores to benefits and freedoms they actually care about, setting those predictable time limits, which sounds so key, and really focusing on praising the effort and progress. We actually can transform this whole chore situation from a weary battle into, a shared journey of partnership and actual growth.
Which really brings us to a question for you, our listener, doesn't it? Thinking about your own household, what's maybe one small, actionable step you could try this week? Just one thing to start shifting from that feeling of pressure towards more of a partnership approach with your tween around chores. How can you start fostering not just, tidier spaces, but more responsible, engaged young people?
That's a great question to ponder. Maybe even chat about it with your tween later. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into guiding tweens toward household responsibility. We really hope these insights offer you a clear and maybe even empowering path forward.